All right. Hello, everybody. It says we're live. So just let me know if we are, because I really can't see, because I don't have my whatever, my YouTube up. Let me see. My channel live, two guys. Okay, so we are on. Hello, everybody. Good to see everyone who's chiming in here. Currently on my screen, it says we have a whopping 1 people, although I do see many more than 1, so I don't think that's true. I think StreamYard's lying to us a little bit, but I'm sure it'll catch up. So as you notice, today it's actually going to be me, just me. Wow, it's kind of a bummer. But Big Johnson will be back. He is actually been called to duty in regards to work, so he is not able to join us tonight. So it is just moi, just me. But we do have some good things to talk about, some interesting topics. There's a lot of things coming up. We have SHOT Show coming up that everybody wants to probably talk about, and a lot of crazy stuff going on in Virginia. Holy smokes, man! And even some crazy stuff in New York again. What a surprise! You'd expect it from us, but geez, the heart of the South, south of the Mason-Dixon line, you'd never think that this would happen. But anyway, good evening, all. So we'll do a quick roll call here. And I have to start all the way at the top. There's been some people talking. So let's see. Rager 10mm, Johnny Danger, Double B, Art Imla, Ty J, Anthony Lamastro, Big Al, C. Kim, E.L. Robbins. There's a lot of people here. Dennis B. C. Kim, I don't remember if I said you. Cody Fowler, hello, sir. Ty J, hello. Artie, what's up, Art? I got you already, and I think that's about. There's probably more of you. So, Knuckles is here. Again, if I didn't catch all your names, I'm so sorry. Of course, music's here. Armsman, hello, sir. Love your holster, man. It's rocking that APX, bro. It's absolutely fantastic. So if you guys have not checked that out, please check it out. He makes some good stuff. It's a great holster if you have the APX RDO, or even if you just have a regular APX. Really good stuff. Let's see. I got a compliment on my shiny head. It needs a fresh shaving. It's growing in a little bit, looking a little bit like Bozo. All right, so let's start. Let's see. All right, so let's start with Ranger's first comment. He says, "Why did Virginia put off taking Peeps assault rifles till 2021?" That's a great question. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know what the methodology is. Probably to get other things in line to be able to do it more legitimately, I guess. Because again, if you were to do it, let's say this year, January 1st, people would have gone completely crazy, and it would have been terrible. So they're probably putting other things in line to be able to defend a decision to do that, and that would be very typical in regards to how they operate. So that would be my guess. But again, I don't know. I'm just going to totally guess. But yeah, it's been crazy down there, especially with the governor calling a state of emergency, which removes guns from the Capitol. So you got to love that. Smart, very smart. Well played, governor. But, we're going to see how that plays out. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. I just hope we don't get a bunch of nut jobs going down there just to purposely create trouble. So Dennis B is asking another question related to it. He's saying, why was a state of emergency declared in Virginia? So what I was reading was they declared a state of emergency in Virginia because the governor said that there were substantiated threats, although nothing direct of what was going to happen, but substantiated threats that they were going to get some people down there who were probably going to commit some form of violent act, but they couldn't specifically say what it was. So they declare a state of emergency to protect people, and they use Charlottesburg as an example of why they did it. So there will be no guns allowed on Capitol property. So again, we're going to see how that plays out. I don't know exactly how it will, but good question. And then, of course, Ty J adds in, they are trying to get the heat to die down so there wouldn't be as much trouble. And that's probably correct. Like I said, it's a step-by-step process. They want to make sure they put everything in line so that all the dominoes fall at once. So I agree with that. Good job, sir. Screaming Skull saying he's got his high point, gold-plated high point, that is, and 380 ACP when they pry it from my cold dead hands. I know. That's a great gun. See, Kim is saying Antifa is paid to go to Virginia. Yeah, there were rumors about that too, that Antifa was being paid to pretend that they were, pro Second Amendment to purposely cause problems. But I guess the governor also banned shields and like bats and sticks and stuff. And we've seen Antifa use that kind of crap before. So, we're going to see how it plays out. I mean, it's going to be interesting, that's for sure. Yes, Dennis, I am serious. Ranger saying 2021 will be when the SHTF occurs. I hope not. All right, so that's it for now for questions. So why don't we start talking a little bit about SHOT Show, and then we'll get in. Well, it depends. We'll take a quick count. Do you guys want to talk about New York, some of the crazy things that are happening here too, Virginia, or do you want to start with SHOT Show? Where do you guys want to start this chat? You tell me, and I'll do my best. Let's see. Mr. Guns and Gear just posted a video saying he will be carrying his gun on Capitol grounds and they can't stop him unless they arrest him. Well, I'm pretty sure he's going to get arrested then, because that's what they're going to do. La la la. Art is saying, let's talk about the P320. We'll get to that, Art. Nick is saying New York. Mike is saying SHOT Show. Pat's SHOT Show. Anthony's saying crazy New York. That's a good point, man. Radagast, that's a good point. He is probably listening. SHOT Show, New York, SHOT Show, New York, SHOT Show, P10S. That's interesting. Anything crazy? So, all right. So we'll do a quick New York visit, and then we'll get out, because who the hell wants to talk about this state? So New York, Governor Cuomo, if you guys weren't aware, he kind of chased out all like insurance for people who carry guns. So you can't really get insurance. But then in the assembly, in the insurance committee right now, they're trying to pass legislation that makes it mandatory that any gun owner who has a gun, whether you carry it or if it's at home, has to carry a minimum liability of $1 million. So the question, of course, is, wait a second, if you're not allowed to be insured for a gun in New York State, how do you get insurance for $1 million if you can't get it? So once again, we got a tricky little assembly that is trying to push this stuff out there. And it's just, it's diabolical, to say the least. So right now it's in the insurance committee. A lot of people think this just happened the other day. This was actually introduced in May of 2019. And of course, now it's a new year. So of course, there's a new agenda being pushed, which this is a part of it. So yeah, that's interesting. It sucks. I hate it here. All right, so let's get out of New York, because nobody cares about New York. So let's talk about SHOT Show. SHOT Show is going to be kind of interesting. I know that we've seen a couple of things come out already. We've seen the new what is that little gun? I forget who makes it. The stupid new striker fired with the optic on it. I can't even remember what it's called. They don't necessarily have the greatest history of making good firearms, but people are kind of excited about it, especially when they see a red dot. I mean, it's kind of like a shiny new toy, they see it and it's like, oh, it's got a red dot on it. We got to pick it up. It's the Sky. Correct, Dennis. Thank you, sir. But, I mean, it's kind of interesting. The price point is very interesting. It gives people an opportunity to own a fairly, well, I don't know. I've never owned one, but I'm assuming a fairly well-made gun that has an optics on it. So I think that would be kind of cool. Especially in the affordability factor, and it doesn't say high point, which I think is also a bonus. We've obviously seen Smith & Wesson drop the new Optic-ready Core series, and they have, I think, 3 different types of it. So they have one that is just with the Optic-ready version, so there's no ported barrel or slide. They have one that is just the ported barrel and slide with no Optic-ready version, and then they have the ported barrel and slide and the Optic-ready version. I think that's retailing for like $700. So that definitely has me interested. Right now they have the 4.5 inch, the 5 inch, and then I think they have the 5 inch, and then they have the 4.25 inch. So I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But it'd be nice to see them come out with a compact version of that. That's what I'm hoping they're going to do. That would be kind of a nice surprise. So obviously some people are talking about the Sig cross rifle. That should be kind of cool. It's like a crossbolt rifle. I think that's going to be kind of cool. The new Hollow Suns look awesome. And I don't know if you guys remember last week when we were talking about, I said, I had some idea about what was coming out, some new Hollow Sun stuff. And that was just because I got lucky and talked to somebody from Hollow Sun. And they were kind of giving me the little inside information as long as I didn't say anything. So I didn't. So now it's out, and it looks pretty sweet. You've got the side loaded battery, you've got the bigger buttons on the side. So it looks like they've kind of streamlined the profile a little bit. So I think that's going to be pretty sweet. I think that's going to be cool. I'm excited for it. That's why I've held off and I'm not buying anything else in regards to optics right now, because I want to wait. I want to see what they have, and of course, price. That would be pretty sweet. Art brings up another one. He's bringing up the XDM Elite. If you guys haven't seen it, Springfield, I know everybody's favorite brand. Excuse me. Must be the Springfield gods choking me. So the XDM Elite came out, and it's an XDM. It's a little bit different. The slide serrations are different. The trigger's a flat face trigger. I believe it's adjustable. I can't remember what they call it. But in essence, it's an XDM that's just been refreshed. I think it would have been cooler to see it a complete redesign, maybe a little bit lower to the hand. I think the stippling is about the same, or the texturing, excuse me, is about the same as the old ones. It'd be nice to see what the trigger's like. It has a mag well that you can remove if you want to. So, there's a lot of good features, and the prices are not that high. I was looking at the website today, and I believe the retail on them is $500. So that might be kind of interesting. But again, you kind of got to get past the idea of Springfield, which apparently RTT is not. The meta trigger, that's what it's called, meta trigger. So we'll see. I'm sure somebody will review it. I'm not going to buy that. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. RTT is saying about the Sky pistols. He had CPX2 pistols, 2 of them. One ran great. The other one was a POS, which I've heard that, it's hard to make that decision. A lot of people say, well, just buy it. But, again, you want to make sure that it's the right thing to buy, because you don't want to buy, a gun that sucks. So, I think it's going to be interesting either way. Let's see. Oh, yeah, the Ohio Gear guy is saying trigger zone. So that's going to be it. Yeah, the zone is triggered at this point. Let's see. Yes, the XL is optics ready. I think it also comes with a suppressor barrel, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Dennis is saying no, I don't have a Springfield on order. If they wanted to throw me one my way, I would absolutely like to shoot it. I want to see what the trigger's all about. To me, that's a big deal. Does it mean it's a gun I'd keep? Probably not. So, but who knows? Who knows? So also, Art was asking a question about how could I get a P320 X-Carry? And, I've always said I'm not a huge fan of SIGs. The polymer SIGs never really did much for me. The 365 doesn't do much for me. But there was always something about that X-Carry. And it's sort of kind of like the 19X of the SIG world. And I like that. I like that longer grip, shorter slide. I just think it's a nicely balanced feeling gun. And so I was looking online. And as I started doing a little bit more investigating, I found out that there were 2 different types of X-Carries. So the old ones had the ported slide. And it had the optic in the rear that you could remove the plate, but then you lose the rear sight. And that's how the new ones are. Only they got rid of the porting on the slide. So now or lightning cuts on the slide, I should say. So now you just get a regular handgun with the removable plate with the removable rear sight. So as I started doing a little research, I found that you can actually buy a pro model if you are a first responder or law enforcement. So I used my status, and can I say that legitimately? Status? I used my status, and I wound up getting one for a fairly good price through a guy off the internet, shop off the internet, and they shipped it out. Very easy, good price, good deal, and I brought it home finally. And Art, this might shock you. This might shock everybody who's going to watch this, because I've been beating SIG over the head for a while. I'm going to tell you guys, man, that X-Carry, that might be one of my favorite guns right now. I shot it already. The thing is awesome. It is just an awesome gun. Is it the best? No. The SIG polymer sucks. Everybody knows that. The trigger is a bit gritty, but interestingly enough, dry firing, it feels it. However, when you actually shoot it live firing, it's a much better feeling trigger than what it feels dry firing. So that was what I noticed. I also think the ergonomics are very good. I think that the recoil is weird. It's a weird feeling gun when you shoot it for the first time, because you think a gun that big and that thick, because it is a thick grip. wouldn't wouldn't have this impulse. The recoil impulse is odd because I didn't think it was going to be, and I don't want to say snappy because that's not the correct word, but it just felt like there was a little bit more recoil in the gun. But I'll tell you, man, once you drop that gun back on sight, it is very easy to do. I was very impressed with it. I'm going to say that to me, it's one of the nicer guns that I've shot in a while, just based on the fact the way it handled itself, and it just ran really nice. And once you get used to where to put your hands, it feels pretty good, man. I was very impressed with it. Plus, the pro model, you remove the plate and you still keep the co-witnessing. So that's one of the reasons why I decided to do it. So that was good. I thought it was a good purchase on my part. Let's see. Nick is saying he's trying to sell his P320. So if anybody's interested, let Nick know. Let's see. X-Carry is more ergonomic and feels like a big improvement over the regular P320. I agree. I think the ergonomics are very good. I like the little not an undercut, but that little the little cutout on the grip where you can get that middle finger in there. I think that was a good idea too. It just makes the grip feel a little bit better. I mean, does it sit any lower in your hand than any other Sig? Probably not. You know, I think the beaver tail is a little bit much, but I think overall they did a nice job. I really do. Pistol P is saying Smith & Wesson have picks out of the news too. Yes, they do, sir. Go to their website and you will see them. They've been flashing them around, I think, now for about a week. And they're cool. You know, they look just like a 2.0, only they have the higher suppressor sights, and then of course they have the plate. So, you know, I would definitely check that out if I was you. Let's see. 10 millimeter. I've been pushing the P320 for a while. Yeah, I mean the old P320s were okay, but it just never did anything. But I do like the X-Carry. I think it's a nice improvement on the gun. The trigger, like I said, the trigger shape is nice. You know, I have an Apex kit. I haven't put it in yet, but I definitely would. I would right now say the X-Carry is a very solid handgun from what I've seen. I shot about 250 rounds through it, 300 rounds around there, and it was good. I only had one light primer strike, but I will absolutely confess that I used Winchester White Box, so that was on sale from Walmart. So what the hell? But that was it. One light primer strike. Everything else was perfect. Absolutely perfect. And honestly, I put it back in the gun 3 times and it didn't go off at all. Let's see. Fina's here. Hello, sir. Yeah, I think Sig hates Big Johnson right now. That's funny. Havoc. Hello, sir. Keith Gregory. Oh, this one's interesting. If you could only have one Glock, 17, would it be a 17? No, actually, if I could have one Glock, it would be either a 19X or a 45, a Glock 45. I like both of those quite a bit. I like the ergonomics. I like the handling of the gun. They shoot nice. You know, I don't have my 19X anymore, but I do have my 19. And I would like to get in 2020 a 45. That's one on my list for 2020, although it's been out for a while. Let's see. X Series dropped the ball by not offering the ability to mount Trijicon or Holosun red dots. I said that one night before, and I believe, I'm trying to remember who told me that it had something to do with the military. I'm not sure who it was, but they said something about the military. And I agree. I don't like the fact that you can't really mount more popular red dots, that you have to actually buy. I think it's a Sig Pro series now because of the way this one is cut, or Delta Point Pro. So those are the ones that would work on there. But I was looking on the internet last night. I guess there's a company that made adapter plates for Holosuns and Trijicons, but they were out of stock and they wanted like $70 for it. So I don't know. We'll see. Artist saying, get another X-Carry and install the Gray Guns competition trigger. Do a I'm not getting another X-Carry, Art. I got one. What do I need two for? Dave Gass, hello. Winchester White Box from Walmart. You sure you aren't living in Arkansas? No, a buddy of mine who lives a little ways from me, he said they had it on sale, and it was like, I think it was something like $8 a box. So I said, do me a favor, pick me up a bunch of them, and I'll just pay you when I see you. So I picked me up a bunch. So I shot it a bunch. You know, how could you beat that? 50 rounds, $8. I thought it was great. Let's see. Dennis saying he was up his way shooting my LTT at Walden Sports. Oh, okay, that's right down the road. That's like 15 minutes from where I live. That's cool. Yep. Where is it? CZ Custom is teasing a 10 millimeter. I believe it's a BD, so that means it's the decocker model, which is kind of cool. You know, I don't know what the price is going to be, but I'm sure it's going to be expensive. But I would like to do that. I would like to do that. That would be one that's on my list too. Just because it's 10 millimeter, I never shot one. Yeah, I don't know what this is about. So ND Irish is saying, can't believe KS is cheating on you and Big Johnson without its outlaw. Yeah, oh well, it is what it is. I'm sure he didn't mean anything by it. Let's see. STI Staccato XC, $4,000. Holy smokes. I don't know. What would you do with that? I'd be afraid to shoot it. Let's see. Springer plates suck too. They put the optic too high. Aesthetics count sometimes. Yeah, I agree. I agree. You know, what I plan on doing is doing a comparison video on the Optic-ready guns that I own. So I have a few of them. I don't have all of them, obviously, but I do have the P10S. I've got the APX, the Masada. What else do I have? Oh, and the FN, which, man, I friggin' that 509 MRD, man, I love that friggin' gun. But I wanted to do a comparison of how all of them kind of operate and what they look like, which one, what are the advantages of them. I would say that all the ones that I own right now, even though I love the gun overall, the one that I hate the most of all of them is actually that APX. And there's some reasons for that, but I don't want to get into that tonight. I'd rather save it for the video. Yeah, KS was getting him some strange. Now, boys and girls. Let's see. L&M Precision can convert a DPP-ready slide to a Trigon Holosun. Really? 45 bucks? I may have to look into that, sir. Interesting. Killer Coiler. Hello, sir. Let's see. No pistol is worth $4,000. I mean, if you had $4,000 to burn on a gun, would you do it? That's the question you should ask. Because I think most of us would. I mean, we love guns. We love guns, and if we had the means to do so, we'd buy expensive guns. I mean, we'd have the cheap guns too, but I don't know what I would do with a $4,000 gun aside from look at it. But who knows? All right, let's see. Dennis again is selling a bunch of things. Dave is saying that last night about some car dealership owner who killed his wife. Was that near you? The county sounded familiar. I don't know, Dave. I don't watch much TV. You got to tell me what county, buddy. Let's see. Do I plan to... Wait, where did it go? Do I plan to review the Ruger 5.7? Probably not. What do you guys think? I mean, do you think that the 5.7 guns, I was reading some people in some forums saying that they were going to hope that in SHOT Show more 5.7s would be, 5.7s would be introduced. What are your guys' thoughts on that? I mean, do you think that's something that is going to actually become a new thing? I mean, we've seen red dots blow up. I think optics right now are probably the biggest bonus for everybody, but I'm not sure about that 5.7, man. I just don't know if that's something you'd want to do. And the ammo's expensive. It's not cheap. It's not cheap. So what do you guys think about that? Any love for 2011? I mean, I like them. I've played around with a few, but, then you look at the price tag, you're like, geez, man, that's crazy. E.L. Robinson, you got a $3,000 Wilson Combat that he never shoots. He doesn't know why. I should get rid of it. Just hang it on your wall, man. Yeah, Rabbi saying it's 5.7. I mean, you just look at the velocity of the ammo, man. It's such a heavy hitter, But I just don't know if it's. I don't know if it's something that's going to really be big, And if you had a choice, would you go 5.7 or would you go 10 millimeter? Which one would you go for? Let's see. Art is asking, I'm working on a deal to get a Rock Island Armory ultra high cap and 9 millimeter. It's a budget 2011. That's cool. That sounds pretty sweet. And Kevin is saying that's low recoil on a center fired. Good option for recoil sensitive folks. Yeah, I agree. Big thoughts. What do I want to acquire this year? I'd like to get a Glock 45. Honestly, guys, there's not a heck of a... I would like to get an Optic-ready M&P. That would be definitely on the list. Let's two on the list. But there's not... I mean, we got to wait. We got to wait still. I want to see what comes out at SHOT Show. I'd like to get my Caracol back. I'd like to. I hope that comes back soon. But I'd like to shoot that again and see if the problems have been fixed. I'm really interested in that gun still, even though it was a complete bust initially. I guess, I guess I'm a sucker for punishment. But, I don't really know. I don't really know what I want to do this year. I got a couple of rifles, new ones that I want to shoot. I'm definitely going to get into rifles a little bit more. I just bought God, what did I buy? A Ruger Scout. And I'm pretty excited to be shooting that. I'm also got a really, really sweet deal on a Russian SKS. So I can't wait to shoot that. You know what I'm going to probably do? I'd like to do something with one of my Marlins. I think I'm going to do some pretty modern stuff to it. I really do like those guns. I know a lot of people are not into lever actions because they see a lot of the flaws of the lever action platform. But I do. I really like lever actions. I would say that's probably one of my favorite rifles, man. Just because I just think they're great, and they're a lot of fun to shoot. I mean, and they look cool, Who doesn't want to be a cowboy at some point? All right, let's see. Keith is saying I need a revolver. I've been looking, my local gun shop, Walco River. He's got a Chiappa Rhino, and I know like a lot of people don't like them, and I know somebody's going to say something about Yankee Marshall, but I like them. I think they're kind of cool, but it's a little pricey still. I think it's I don't even know what it is, but I saw the price tag. I was like, nah, I'm not going to do that. But maybe, you never know. Maybe a revolver will be in the future. Maybe, who knows? If I can find a cheap one that's a good one used, I would probably do it. Let's see. RTT is saying, even though the Glock 45 is basically a 19X, I think the 19X is better. I'm actually excited about the Glock 44 coming out in a few days. I'm not really excited about the 44. I know that's blasphemy for Glock people, but I'm not, I don't have really a reason to get it. But, and I can see you liking that 19X, and it might have something to do with that little lip at the bottom of the mag well. You get just a little bit better of a control on it, I think, which has something to do with that. But I could be wrong, which I'm probably am. Rabbi saying, oh, I can't wait for the SKS video. Then every dippy who only paid $100 for theirs will chime in and remind us they used it. I know. Look, they were. But I got this one for $500. It's a full Russian, man. It's all matching numbers. The stock's in great shape. The bluing is, I mean, if it's not 100% condition, it's got to be in the 90s. It's just absolutely perfect. I took the bolt out. I checked the striker. It's supposed to have a floating pin, and it doesn't float. But I think whoever refurbed this rifle, I think they put a spring-loaded one in there because it's you can push it in and out. It goes out again. You can't, shake it and you hear it moving, but I know there is an upgrade you can do with those. So I'm going to shoot it. Hopefully it doesn't, slam fire 10 rounds, but we're going to see, man. Can't wait. I can't friggin' wait. All right. I think that with more manufacturers beginning making the ammo, it brings the price down. Yeah, no, there's also a lot of good, what I've been reading is a lot of different companies are coming out with good ammunition. So like some good 9mm self-defense ammo, some really cool, interesting stuff. I think right now, because I think it's something like Marlin's 100th year or something like that, they're coming out with new lever action ammo. So I'm thinking it's going to be pretty cool. I think 2020 is going to be a good year for us guys. I really do. Aside from the crappy politics, but I hope. I think, sir, you might be the winner for the best name ever on any chat I've ever been on. This person's name is Don Lemon made me smell his finger. Oh, man, that is the best name, bro. Bro, you definitely need a revolver, preferably a 686, so with no chance of having buyer's remorse. You probably would never sell that gun. Well, I will never say never. There are some guns I've always been surprised that I've sold. That is hilarious. Oh, man. Let's see. A lot of people saying get a revolver. Yeah, and I was looking at prices. I mean, there are some people selling them on Gunbroker for like $700, and the guy I bought it from was a young guy, really, really cool guy. Knew a lot about the rifle and its history, so that was helpful. But I was very happy. I mean, I'd love to show you guys, but you can't anymore because of the YouTube police. All right, let's see. Just kind of going through it. Let's see. You should check out the new H&K VP9 17-round optics-ready pistol. I hope that is released at the 2020 SHOT Show. Really? That sounds cool. The only problem is I can't have 17 rounds in, New York. It's got to be castrated to 10. So I didn't know they were coming out with that. Damn it! Now I have a VP9 SK coming, and now they got optics. Those bastards. That's a great question, but I can't answer it, and thank God. Yeah, I'm gonna get a Cobra. It's called Cobra. And now I hear they're. Oh no, that's a Python I'm thinking of. I think the Pythons now are going to be made out of aluminum, so that's kind of sweet. I mean, a little lighter, although I wonder what that's going to feel like shooting it. Let's see. I've never been high on the VP9. I actually like the VP9 SK in the way it feels a little bit better than the full size, which is interesting as well. LZ is saying it also has what? What does it have? What does it have? NDI is saying, anyone have thoughts, experience with the Shield Arms 15-round steel mag for a Glock 48 or 43X? I personally do not, because we are not allowed to have them because they're dangerous here. They might cause chaos. Oh, it also has a 10-rounder, huh? Nice. That could be a possibility. I'll tell you what, I'll probably put it on my list. How's that sound? Politics turning Virginia back down off the AR confiscation legislation, so that was a win. Yeah, and I think what they did, I think they voted that down just the other day, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Tioga County, I don't even know where that is in New York. It's got to be somewhere up north, well away from me. Probably like in either the Buffalo area or somewhere in there. I don't know. Joker saying, way to be late to the optics party, HK. I know. I trade my old VP9 for optics. Ready one? Yeah, I could see that. Okay. So Scott is saying about the Shield Arms, my buddy ordered his 2 hours after they were posted online. He still has not got them or any kind of notification. Ouch. Yeah, and that's what you got to be careful, for. Sometimes a lot of people advertise a bunch of things, and next thing you know, guys, guess what? They don't show up. So it's probably just such a huge demand that obviously they can't meet it just yet. I'm sure that'll turn around. I mean, God, we've seen big companies like CZ that can't maintain certain things, which is my biggest complaint of the Optics-ready version P10s. But like I said, we'll be getting into that at some point. I know, we're not allowed to have 10 rounds. That's right. They can't be trusted. Let's see. What's the thoughts on the Sig P320 and 9mm? I just ordered a used one. I know some people who have them. They like them. I know a dude who carries his everywhere he goes. He says it's just small enough to carry everywhere and packs enough punch to put down a threat. It's a little gun, little itty bitty gun. I'm not a huge fan of those types of guns, but I'm sure they were pretty sweet. I'm sure they're pretty good. And again, it's a metal Sig, so it's going to run probably really well. Eric LaBouffe is saying, I called Glock about my new Gen 4 19, throwing all casings in my face. After talking to tech, they never heard of this. Really? I'm pretty sure that's not true. I'm pretty sure Gen 4s, and I think Gen 3s were having those problems quite a bit. It's probably an extractor. I just buy a new one, pop it in, and see what happens. Yep. Killer Coiler saying on Monday it was voted down. Scott saying he loves his 239 smooth trigger, and at least his does. All right, so we've got our first $5 donation. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. If you refuse to pay a hooker, is it shoplifting? He's asking for a friend. I don't know. I've never had an experience with one of those, but I'm assuming if you're not paying for your services, could it be theft? I don't know. You'd have to ask somebody who's much, much more in touch with that lifestyle, sir. Havoc is saying X5 Legion will be in my hands Friday, but was told not to mount my DPP because it'll add too much weight to the slide. Really? So then why too much weight to the slide? Then what would you mount to it? Are you going to mount anything to it? I don't know. That doesn't make too much sense. AA saying get an Apex Glock extractor. I agree. The Arms is saying he ordered mags for the Glock 48 supposedly in stock according to the site. Never got them. I contacted them. Was able to get my money back. It's going to be a while. Was told by them. That sucks. Let's see. Not getting paid or paying. That's a very good point. EL saying you may have to deal with her pimp. Do I still have my carbine? I do. And, it's fun. You know who actually shoots it more than I do is my son. He loves it. because it's kind of a cool little gun, and that's honestly why I got it, to get him into a little bit more of a, instead of the 22s, he kind of outgrew that a little bit. Scott saying he got his Optic-ready P10C. That's sweet. I got my P10S. I shot it. It's nice, a little snappier, obviously, than the P10C, but it's manageable. It was a good shooter. Rabbi saying the DA told me it was theft of services. Aw. Well, you got to pay your hose. Let's see. Brass issue is ejector problem, typical Glock. Gotcha. Okay, so you're saying the Romeo 1. Right, and that's what I'm supposed to be putting on this the Pro that I got. But aren't those like I think they're like $700. Correct me if I'm wrong, but and I think that's the bad part. And like I said, that'll be some of the things that I go over when I do all of them, to kind of give you the pros and cons. So if you choose to make a decision, you go with what you think is going to work best for you. My family still loves me no less, even though I support Trump. Yeah, yeah, I know. It's hard sometimes when you're the only person in the room who does. I feel your pain, my friend. I do still have the Masada. I do. I was actually playing with it the other night. It's a good gun. It's hard to gosh, how do I want to say this? It's difficult to justify why you wouldn't have one. And of all the Optics-ready guns that I have, to me that would be the first one I'd buy. And the reason being is because of the price. The price you can't beat. Comes with, I think everything you would need as a starter kind of Optics-ready pistol with good quality. And it shoots well. Trigger's decent. I mean, it's not a horrible trigger. It's not a great trigger, but it's pretty good. It is pretty good. And it's worked very well. So yes, I still have it. Not sending it anywhere too soon. It's just a really good gun in my opinion. Rabbi saying he wants a CZ75, but I also want a 10 millimeter. EA makes one for $1,800. What does everyone think? I think you should wait for this CZ custom 10 millimeter, see what comes out, see what that price is. Probably be about the same ballpark. That's what I would do. But that, everybody's different. Everybody's different. Cody's saying they're about $400. Yeah, they're about $400. About $400 for a Masada, which I think is very good for an Optics-ready pistol. I know somebody was telling me the other day that they bought an APX RDO, I think for about $4 and change. So those prices coming down again too. I mean, even the APX. I mean, I got another APX Centurion and I bought it for like $320. I mean, it's just amazing prices on them. So I'm pretty sure Beretta has something up their sleeve, so to speak. Is the X-Carry milled? Yes, it's optics ready. It is. And when I do the video, you'll see that the plate sits in front of the actual rear sight. So when you remove the plate and you put the optic, you still have the ability to co-witness. So it's pretty cool. But like I said, those are pro models. They're only giving them to, or selling them to first responders and law enforcement and military. All right, let's see. I'm trying to keep up, guys. A lot of comments. Great comments, by the way. Let's see. Just trying to go through this. I don't have the Caracol. I had to go back, Romans. It went back because I was having issues with it for a second time, even after it came back the first time. So I know that they found some issues. They supposedly redid some parts, and it's supposed to be coming back to me this month, hopefully very soon. And I'm looking forward to it. I really am. I do want to shoot it. I want it to function because I want to see if it is good as I thought it was going to be. I can't give you an honest assessment of it because it just sucked. It sucked right out of the box. So I'm hopefully it'll do better this time. And if it doesn't, well, you guys will know. Yeah. Scott is saying it's the canik of the Israeli world. Probably. Well, I mean, IWI is a good, solid manufacturer. I think a lot of people trust their products. They make good stuff. It's reliable. And I think they're a good, solid handgun. I would buy another one, if I wanted to. Killer Coiler saying, I just wish the Masada was available in an M&P. I agree. I wish they came out with a compact. I haven't heard anything about it. I actually reached out to them to see if they'd actually be putting out new lowers, like in different colors, like green and brown and all that other great stuff. And they said they're not at this moment. So I thought that kind of sucked because if you go to the website, there is a guy dressed in military garb, and I believe he has an FDE one. And I think they put it on Instagram. But of course, it's not available to anybody, which kind of sucks. Because, I mean, who wants a black gun when you can get an FDE or OD green one? Let's see. Patrick Banks is asking 43X or P10C. They're kind of different. I mean, the 43X has got a shorter muzzle, longer grip. P10C, longer muzzle, and probably about the same length grip. And it's a little bit thicker. It depends on what you like. I mean, the 43X is a nice gun. Very balanced, very well balanced. Reliable. You know, it's going to be snappier based on the weight. But, you know, why not try a P10S? Then you're kind of getting a little bit more of the same thing, you know, smaller. Maybe not so thin, but not a bad gun. Let's see. RTT is asking Kalashnikov USA coming out with new all-American made AK. I think that's pretty sweet. Look, I'm an AK guy, man. I love AKs. I'm not a huge fan of ARs, but that's just me. I know a long time ago that Kalashnikov came out with a pistol that they had tested for, I think it was the Spetsnaz of Russia, and it never went to the general public. But I saw the gun. Man, it was amazing. I wish they would have released that handgun. Just think of a steyr, only cooler, if that's even possible. But this gun looked like it was going to rock and roll, man. But they never released it. So I would like to see it. Let's see. I don't know what this is about. Or M&P 2.0 even better. Yeah, the 2.0s are great. The prices are great too right now. FDE guns are super scary. They are. OD greens are even scarier because it's a little bit darker. And then if you go to gray, I wonder if they're scary. What do you guys think? You think gray is scarier than green or brown or FDE? The Masada is modular. By the way, it is one of the easiest takedowns to take the whole trigger assembly out. I mean, it's super easy to do. And it is modular. So that's why I had asked them if there was anything coming out frame-wise or anything, and they said no. The answer was no. Not at this time. Steyr M9A1 versus CZ-P10C. I would say wait till the MF2 in the M series comes out. That's what I want to do. That's what I'm interested to see this year coming out. That's on my list. That is also on my list. You know, the L's are great, but I just like the M's better. So hopefully they'll come out with those this year, which would be pretty sweet. I would love to see that. Yep, everybody's talking about the DWX. A lot of people are talking about it. Super duper pricey. Do I own any milsurp guns? I guess you can say my SKS. I mean, it's I think 1953. So I would assume that's a milsurp, right? Kathleen Music. Who makes Masada? IWI. Roman's saying he loves OD guns, even sold my P07 black. So yeah, you know, I go back and forth. Like I love FDEs, but I love OD green too. You can't beat either one. So right now I have an APX Centurion with the FDE slide on an OD green frame, and it's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, pretty darn cool. Oh, look who we have here. We have the Red Dot Optics Master in the house. Talk about a guy who's blowing up, man. This dude's blowing up. You know, he's got that channel, guys. Check him out. All right, this guy's going to be big. So let's see. Oh, and Harry's here. Hello, Harry. Harry saying that Hummel Marksman is an XD fanboy. He is. He's going to get one. We all know that. He's going to get the Elite. And then he'll stencil in another name, you know, so that nobody knows it's a Springfield. Let's see. What else? Yeah, you know, Kevin Jung says he has the IWI MR9 Eagle Fast Action. Nice. Well, is that... I don't think that's an IWI. The MR9 is a... shit. It's a... I can't remember. It's... God, why? Magnum Research. Yeah, the MR9 is a Magnum Research. The Fast Action is basically the same as the P99, if I'm not mistaken, sir. Yeah, I'm too kind. It's really inauthentic, by the way. Let's see. What is this? Oh, my God. You know, you've got problems, Rabbi. I'm not going to lie. But I do like you, so that's why we haven't banned you yet. Let's see. Does Magnum Research belong to IWI? I didn't know that. Wow. Well, you guys have just educated me. Thank you. Nice. Although I don't know if that's true. I don't believe anything you say anymore. No, I don't think they do. I think Magnum Research is its own thing, and they don't even make the MR9s anymore. They stopped making them, which kind of sucks because it really is just a P99 clone, and the P99s were great. I mean, that was one of Walther's winners. I wish they would just refresh. Look, I love Walther, but God, they need to refresh their line just a little bit, just a little bit. All right, so let's see. Wow. So we're at 88 people tonight. They must not have thought I was going to be by myself because there's no way 88 people want to watch this. Let's see. Romans is saying, I know I can figure it out when I watch reply for the first 30 minutes. I missed. Can someone tell me where is Big Johnson? Big Johnson's working, man. He wasn't able to join us tonight. He wasn't able to. Yes, Carr bought Magnum Research. That is correct. And Magnum Research is strange. They make very odd handguns now. They make like these old cowboy revolvers. They obviously make the 1911s now. The Desert Eagle, of course, which is, a kind of a niche gun. Mag Research is supposedly importer of IWI, but I thought IWI was based out of Pennsylvania, if I'm not mistaken. IWI USA, I think, is based out of Penn. Nick is saying, do you think if Beretta was introducing an APX replacement at SHOT, we would have some? I don't know, man. Beretta is probably one of the biggest manufacturers that I don't know. I don't trust them with anything. And I love Beretta, but I hate them at the same time. It's like one of those relationships where you love to hate them because they make really good guns, but it's like their support for it sucks. I mean, it just sucks really bad. Like let's think about this. They have the 92X. And it's like they blew it up for a couple of weeks, and what happened? Like it's disappeared again. The APX, great gun, love the gun, but they didn't do anything with it. I don't, and yet every damn advertisement you see from them is for a new hat or a sweater that has a leather patch on it. I mean, I just don't get them. I really don't. It pisses me off. They piss me off. They trigger me. Yeah, it's basically this. It's a lower from Walther. I think they change a little, like the grip texturing a little bit, so it's like squiggly lines as opposed to the little dots that were on the P99s. So it's basically the same. Harry is one of our people who we trust with a wrench, so he can ban people. So he banned Big J, just so you know. Let's see. Scott is saying they had an X-Carry for sale at the Sig Pro shop. I looked at it when I was dropping my three. I mean, I really am. I'm surprised that I like the X-Carry so much. I mean, it just shot really nice, and it was different. It was just a different feeling gun, and I didn't expect to really enjoy it as much as I did on the day I was shooting it. But it was really good, man. It was really, really good. I was very happy with it. It's hard to say that about a Sig for me. That's plastic. Oh my goodness! Look who's here. The myth, the man, the legend, Coda Boy 32 Tactical. What's up, man? How's it going with all the muckety mucks of YouTube up there? And now that you're like, what are you at? Like 72 million people right now? I think it's something like that, right? So it's good to see you, sir. Thank you for joining. Appreciate it. Let's see. Yeah, Pistol P say, ooh, you get a new sweatshirt when you buy a new gun from Beretta. That sounds about right, man. And that's why I've never, I don't understand them. I don't. And I think it's the only manufacturer of handguns that I know that try to sell more clothes than guns. It's crazy to me. I don't get it. And they make good stuff. They really do. I've never had a complaint about any Beretta I've owned. They've all been great. Let's see. Walther's supposed to release a steel frame PPQ compact size. Somebody will buy it. I really don't know what to say. I will tell you that if you guys have seen my CCP video, it is one of the most hated video I've ever made. Like there are people who I think have wished me death over that damn video. And, I don't know what's going on with Walther either. Like they make great stuff. The triggers are great. I just wish they'd give a little bit of a refresher. That's it. Just a little refreshing, something a little bit more modern, making people happy, but it is what it is, Oh, look at all this. Look at all the love they're sending the Coda Boy. Oh, Coda Boy, I love you. Coda Boy, Coda Boy. I should have just invited Coda Boy tonight. Damn it. I forgot. So Coda, if you'd like, you could always pop in next week. You just text me, man. Let me know. I know I'm a little bit low on the subs and you don't want to bring yourself down to my level, but listen, I'm always game if you're up for a conversación. I'd love to talk politics right now. That'd be great. Let's see. Realistic date for a regular guy getting their hands on a DWX? Probably. I would say like the second quarter of the year. I mean, you got to figure SHOT Show. They're just throwing them out there, and then usually they don't show up till like second or third quarter of the year. So probably spring or summer. I mean, that would be my guess, but I can't be certain because what do I know, right? Oh wait, did I? Oh my God, I got a compliment. CCP was video was spot on. Yeah, it was a piece of shit. It was. I'm sorry, man. That gun sucked, and it sucked because ergonomically it was great. They need to make that into a baby PPQ. Like do it that way. But whatever. Yes, it is. It is the bastard stepchild of Beretta, and it's a shame. Yeah, Coda, I'd invite you, but there's literally 8 minutes left, man. But I will tell you, I will open that invitation to you next week if you choose to. I'm pretty sure Big Johnson will be here. So you're always welcome, man. Just gotta let us know. All right. So if I could have only one, oh man, a CCP or the Taurus G2C, I would say the Taurus TX9 because you guys, everybody loves that TX22. I think that's what it's called. Well, Taurus is coming out with a TX9. It looks pretty cool. I look, I bash the crap out of Taurus all the time, but that TX9 looks pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. It looks like it's a decent handgun. And I can't believe I'm saying that, but you know, I would like that one. But in this one, I'd choose the CCP. But it would have to be the M2 version, so it's an easier takedown and maybe a little bit better. All right, so Radagast is saying that Magnum Research's website describes their contractual relationships to IWI, Okay, cool. Nice. Very nice. Well, you figure you got the Jericho and then the Baby Desert Eagle, and they're identical. The only difference is the Baby Desert Eagle has a decocker, and the Jericho has safety only. Oh, that's right. You guys are. Oh, that's right. You guys are going to Shot Show. I'm not. I'm not fancy enough to go to Shot Show. I can't believe Bald and Curious is going because we know he is not fancy. That guy is not fancy at all. Hmm. Yes, and everybody is giving him props for the Virginia videos. He does. I mean, he's keeping up with it. We've got to try to do our best. I'm just trying to wrap my head around the crap that we're dealing with right now. Because pretty soon it might be illegal to own guns if you don't have insurance in New York State for $1 million in regards to liability. I can imagine what those premiums would cost. So again, I don't know if it even passed the constitutionality of it because you'd basically be saying you'd have to claim it's an unfair tax for owning a firearm. No desire for the P10F? Nah, not really. Just because for me it doesn't make sense. The gun is enormous, and it would only carry 10 rounds. A gun that big should not have 10 rounds in it. I mean, it's got to have the biggest grip of any gun I've ever held in my life because, you know, it's just huge. It's a huge gun. Humble Marksman wants to go to SHOT Show next year. So he's becoming big time too. So pretty soon we won't hear from him anymore. uh, Roman saying he always wanted a Walther but never had gone for it. I'll tell you, if I had to choose right now between a PPQ and a P99, I'd probably go with a P99 because I had one, man, and I wish I never got rid of it. It was such a good gun. It really was. Let's see. Killer saying that the Jericho is the best CZ75 clone on the market, hands down. I do agree with that. Although I have to say I shot a Baby Desert Eagle and that was great too. But again, it's a clone of the Jericho. Let's see. Harry's going a shot, but he wants to be in Richmond, Virginia. Yep. Dennis B., New York is definitely killing us. Humble is saying P10F is okay. He says it doesn't think it lives up to the hype. I did see your video. Honestly, if I was going to go between that and a Masada, I would pick a Masada. I think the Masada is just a nicer gun. But again, it's all about what you guys want. I mean, it's basically what it is, you know? Ty J saying getting shot down. The laws would be getting shot down because demanding insurance on a right is 100% of targeted tax. Right, exactly. So we're going to see how that plays out. I mean, like I said, it's in the insurance committee right now in the assembly. But, you know, everything's Democrat right now, so I can see it going right up to the governor, him signing it. And then it'll have to be challenged in the courts. What a surprise. So let's waste more taxpayer money to keep passing the dumbest laws you possibly can. Because we all know, and let's get this right, we all know that a criminal who's going to get a gun illegally is going to have some liability insurance so that when he shoots a good person and kills them, his liability insurance will pay for that person's funeral. It is the dumbest, stupidest thing that has come through my eyes in a long time. I mean, it makes no sense. It makes no sense, you know? Hey, I'm going to break the law. Let me get liability insurance. Friggin' stupid. Rabbi is saying PPQM2 doesn't live up to the hype. Fight me. Well, I can't fight someone who can't spell the word fight, so I'm not going to fight you on that. They have to allow you to own firearms. If they don't allow the insurance you need, that is illegal. Well, that's the plan. And they're hoping that nobody will be smart enough to challenge it, or that the will of the people in New York State will be so pathetically low that it'll just go right through. And honestly, guys, I wouldn't be surprised. Nothing surprises me here anymore at all. People just do whatever they want. You know, they just do whatever they want, and the people are too obsessed with other stupid things to really fight for what needs to be fought for. So I would like to go to the NRA show. That's what I would like to do. It's a smaller show. I really don't want to go necessarily, and even if I could, I don't think I could ever do it because of work and stuff. But I don't think I want to go to SHOT Show. I'll be honest with you. I don't think I want to go there. But who knows? So Killer's saying he hopes that somebody will come out with a trigger upgrade for the Masada. It is the weakest part of the pistol. I don't think the trigger's that bad. I think, you know, I got about probably 550, 600 rounds through it now. And the gun actually, it feels like the trigger smoothens up quite a bit. It's not a bad trigger. It's actually, again, it's one of those triggers that I think when you shoot live rounds through it, it feels different than when you're dry firing it. And that is something I can definitely attest to, that 320, the X-Carry, because the trigger is much better shooting live than just dry firing. Because dry firing feels like garbage. But when you actually open it up, it actually is very, very good. So I don't know if I agree with that. I think, could it use a trigger? Well, what couldn't? Anything can use a trigger, especially if Apex was going to do it. But I think the Masada is a good out-of-the-box trigger. I mean, remember, it's a $400 gun, and it's got a better trigger than most 550 guns, you know? So I think it's pretty good. Music's asking, is that the slide? Yes, it is. And actually, it's the thickness of the lower. I think that back portion of the lower, it's a little bit too thick, so you got to have the right grip on it so it doesn't hit your knuckle. I just think it could use a little bit of a refresher, a little bit better in regards to the lines of it. I think would be nice, because what else needs to change? You know, the trigger's really good, but I just think, and the ergos are great, but I would like to see it a little bit refreshed, because it's been around for a while. You know, it's time to kind of, you know, send a new one out there and make people want it again. Dennis B, sir, thank you for joining. Yeah, man, we could. That would be kind of cool. That way you can see how bad I really shoot when I am not editing all my footage. I'm just kidding. Maybe. Roman saying he doesn't want anything to do with the NRA. Yeah, I mean, it's not really the NRA I want to go for. It's just to see the crap that's there, you know? And it's a smaller venue. I'm not really big into the huge crowds anymore. Coda saying I don't do NRA. Harry Solstice have to travel across the country to hang out with a fellow in North Carolina. Brother. Yeah. Yep. And again, this is the key. This is what I've been hounding everybody on, to stop using the word gun community. It's more about gun culture. I'd like to see more people use that word than gun community, because the one thing that I feel about the word community is that it's not really a community. I mean, a lot of communities have inclusive ideas, exclusive ideas. So in other words, not everybody is welcome. And in my opinion, I think we need to start pushing this idea of gun culture. The fact that America's culture the gun culture in America is bigger than anything else. I mean, this is who we are as people. You know, it's not just about food or music or, you know, religion. It's also about guns. I mean, this country has always had guns. It should always have guns. We have protected rights that say it. So I'd like to start using gun culture much more than gun community. I just think it makes more sense to my brain, which, you know. Ty J is saying, yeah, and there's too much fighting in the community, you know, and I agree. You know, there's a lot of that. So, all right, everybody. So it is now 9 o'clock. I want to say thank you to all of you coming tonight. We had almost, I think, 90 people, which is pretty sweet. I do appreciate everybody who comes by these chats. It's always a lot of fun to just talk to you guys. I wish one day we could all just meet in the same room and just have a good time, you know, and talk guns, talk life, talk family, and just be happy for each other. I mean, I think that would be the best thing that I could wish for in 2020. Other than that, if you guys have not subscribed to a lot of these people's channels that are watching, please subscribe to them. Start spreading the idea of gun community, or excuse me, gun culture. I think gun culture is the new word that we need in 2020. And when it gets big, I'm going to copyright it and make millions of dollars off of it. So, you know, gun culture, boys and girls, not gun community. All right, everybody, have a great night. Stay safe. And as always, freedom is never free.